Hi guys, my name is Moran. Welcome to my series Getting Personal, where I gather different stories from Reddit. And today we have a fun theme where I think certain reactions involved were deserved. So basically, people got what they were asking for. So without further ado, let's explore. Am I the asshole for calling my girlfriend a for lying about an emergency to test my commitment? My girlfriend, 29 female, Andrea, and I, 29 male, have been together for a few months now. Everything had gone smoothly until yesterday when she pulled off a ridiculous stunt. She called me late at night to say that she's seriously injured slash having panic attacks and that no one else is with her as her parents are out, which was true, they were out. She said that she's also got some chest pain and she thinks that she is dying and that she is in really bad state and can hardly breathe. She was heaving while she spoke. She begged me to help her, said that she's already called 911, but that she also wanted to let me know, and I was shocked. I took my car to rush towards her house, and it was only after reaching her that I found out that she was joking about it. She met me joyfully and said that she only wanted to see how committed I am during an emergency, as that's an essential part of a relationship or something. I lost my temper and asked her what the fuck her problem was. She said that she was just testing me, and I got pissed off. I called her a fucking bitch and told her that I did not deserve to be treated like trash and made use of like that. She was crying by saying that she only wanted to check whether I'm a good fit and that I overreacted. I left the house immediately and haven't talked to her since. She's been texting me, but I just ignored her. Am I the asshole? Run, because that crazy is going to get crazier. This is not a normal behavior. The person is not supposed to test you because we are not in college. This is not a biology final. And there is an update. After talking to her about it, I have decided to give her a second chance. She's apologized a lot and promised to never do that again. I'd be more careful, of course, and I won't be trusting her blindly, but I have thought that I'd give her one chance, especially since she's shown herself to be regretful. Okay, second chance is fine, but like if anything like this happens again, you have to leave because she already knows she can pull this off, and then you will forgive her and give her another chance. So like if you do that again, then the third, the fourth, and subsequent times will be guaranteed. Also, I really don't appreciate this behavior. I mean, I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, why would you need to chat in such a cruel way? Like, it reminds me of a story also that I've seen on Reddit where a partner faked their death to see their partner's reaction, but that one was extreme, like completely nuts. Let's see the next one. Am I the for ruining the family gathering over a joke my sister made? For some context, I, 28 male, and my wife, Claire, 25 female, are expecting. Claire is currently 8 months pregnant, our son being expected to be born in November 2023. This isn't our first pregnancy though. Claire got pregnant 2 years ago, but the day our daughter was born, she passed away. This crushed us both mentally, especially for my wife. Well, I have a sister, Hannah, 19 female, who, for better words, lacks sympathy. Our parents always tried to defend her and tried to say she has a dark sense of humor, but this time she took it too far. We were at a family gathering yesterday and it all went well until the topic of the pregnancy came up. Everybody was asking how Claire was, and some of the females, like my aunts, grandmother, mom, were asking about the birthing plan when my sister says while laughing, "Let's hope this baby isn't like the last." Talking about mine and Claire's daughter, I completely lost it. I started screaming at Hannah, telling her that was completely rude of her and that if she ever says stuff like that again, she won't be able to even see our son. Hannah started crying while Claire was already crying. My dad took me away from my sister and I got yelled at for making Hannah cry over a joke, and I ruined the gathering. I will admit I may have been harsh while threatening to not let Hannah see my son, but this isn't the first time she made a joke like that. This is not a dark sense of humor. What is the joke? Haha, your last baby died. Let's hope this one doesn't. How is that supposed to be funny once again? Like, what? People never stop to amaze me. The fact that your wife had to hear that after like suffering the loss of her baby at birth, and now she's pregnant again, and now she's probably terrified to go through birth again because she knows what happened last time, and the fact that your parents consistently protect her just confirms my suspicions that she is a huge child because she's coddled, she's constantly protected with the excuses that she has a dark sense of humor, so she will continue being absolutely horrible like that, and no one will stop her. You're not the asshole. Your sister is a monster. Am I the asshole for saying that's rich coming from you to a family with kids when they complained about our dog? Hi y'all, this sub recently helped me out with another issue, so I figured I could return and present another issue even though it's not that dramatic. Context: my family was at a restaurant to eat out because we celebrated uncle's 50th birthday. We also brought our dog along. I completely understand when people are annoyed when there are dogs everywhere, and some people really take it too far. I get it, but basically we had no choice. Our girl has trauma and can't stay alone for too long, and we had no one to watch her. And I know everyone says that, but she's really well behaved. She just lays under the table, looks around a bit, and sometimes begs a little, but only from us. She's also really small. Anyway, there were some couples and groups of threes present, but the only other bigger party were what I guess a mom, a grandma, and two kids. 3, 6-ish. I should say that I like kids. I really do. I want to work with kids, in fact. I'm 18, by the way. But these little guys were still somewhat disturbing. They screeched and yelled, and one of the kids asked like 3 times for fries when they were already ordered for him. A bit annoying, but not to the point I would complain, honestly. However, pretty suddenly the grandma started to complain about people that bring their dog everywhere and that it's so gross when one is in a closed area. She looked in our direction with an annoyed face, and I admit it annoyed me pretty much. Would it have been any of the other guests, I would understand, but our girl was simply minding her own business while their kiddos annoyed everyone. So I looked at her and said, that's rich coming from you, since your group is the most disturbing one here while no one complains about Tinka. The grandma stared at me and then looked at my parents so they would say something, but my mom simply continued to eat, and my dad looked back at her and grinned. She looked like she wanted to say more, but the other woman told her to let it be and tried to calm the kids down. We didn't interact further the rest of our stay. This happened 2 days ago, but I'm still unsure if it was my call to say what I said, because I know how kids can be, and it can really be annoying when everyone brings their dog everywhere, but I just felt the need to defend my dog because she wasn't doing anything. So Reddit, am I the asshole? I will read all of the edits also and then say my part. Edit 1, I didn't ask if I'm the for bringing our dog with us. The restaurant was dog friendly. Edit 2, I'm not American. Please stop calling me names for doing something legally. Edit 3, I'm gonna log out now. This is a little bit overwhelming and some people are sadly getting toxic. I'll accept everyone's judgment. I honestly don't want to start a dogs and kids restaurant debate, and I see now that dog culture is very different in Europe than in the US. Thanks to the nice and constructive people that didn't just call me names. Final edit, logging in one final time. I was overwhelmed by the amount of comments. I never expected that and had to go offline for a while. I'm autistic if this is an explanation. I never intended this to become a heated debate about dogs and restaurants. And no, I don't hate children. I love them. I think both kids and dogs should be allowed in restaurants, but there should also be a few restaurants in every town where one or both of them are not allowed. I also understand understand now that the whole thing is really cultural. I still don't think that having a dog in a restaurant is a horrible thing, but I'll try to be more considerate of others in the future. I was being called dramatic for my edits, but some comments insulted me or my parents, and I do not appreciate that. You don't have to agree with me, but you don't have to insult people. About the fries thing, I took it as an example because the kid was very loud. Our conversations were 3 times interrupted by a loud, "Mommy, I want fries." I don't have a problem with the question in general, I just used it as an example. Lastly, I accept every judgment and I accept that I could have done better. The case is over for me now. I won't post pictures of Tinka here because I'm afraid some dog haters will insult her. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. People are terrible on the internet. Maybe I'm sensitive and silly, but I was bullied in the past. I don't need that again. Please stop arguing now, people. I didn't want to create any discord. Greetings. Well, Reddit had not the verdict in the end, and I also agree. The problem isn't the dog in the restaurant. For example, I also don't like dogs in restaurants because I am afraid of dogs, even if they're small. Like, I was attacked by a pack of stray dogs when I was younger, and since then I am understandably uneasy around dogs, even if they're well behaved, even if they're cute and whatever. I don't feel comfortable around dogs. So like when it's in the restaurant and I'm just trying to eat, I would be a little bit on edge if there was a dog next to me. But again, if the dog is well behaved, I don't mind. Like, if the dog is not trying to jump on me or like sniff me, lick me, I'm fine. There is no problem. And it's like, if the restaurant is dog friendly and there is a dog, it's reasonable, no? That woman, the grandma, was 100% being a about it loudly to vent her frustration on you. Some people, like this grandma, will go outside and try to put their miserable little emotion out on others, and you are not obligated to suffer that. You're not obligated to sit there and listen to her if you don't want to, and you're in your right to say what you said. I agree. If we're comparing the two groups, they're being more disruptive. Yes, kids are not dogs. Yes, kids are not comparable to pets, but your kids are being disruptive in the restaurant. You ignore that, but then start loudly about someone's dog who isn't even doing anything. OP, just chill out. They were not pleasant people, and I admire your parents for just being like, she said what she said. Good luck to you and your little dog in the future. Also, take care of your mental health. Internet is a dumpster fire. Anyway, next post is, am I the for not sharing a free meal with my anti-Instagram boyfriend? I post my food pics from when I go out to eat on Instagram. It's just for fun. I spend like 30 minutes a week on it tops. My boyfriend is a very sweet guy in many ways, but one thing I'm not so much of a fan of is that he often hops on the bandwagon of hating innocent things. Not just not liking something, but making sure everyone knows he doesn't like it, even if nobody asked. I can't help but notice a theme: pumpkin spice lattes, pouty selfies, Taylor Swift, etc. As you can guess, he is not a fan of the food pics and thinks it's very annoying and cringe. He doesn't even follow my Insta, even though he has an account. Even though I don't have very many followers, I have started getting occasional offers and invitations from restaurants in my city to try their food for free in exchange for a review. Nothing crazy, no steak dinners so far, but I've gotten a few sandwiches and several baked goods. Well, I just hit the big leagues and got invited to a new restaurant opening that includes a free appetizer and entree for me and one guest. I immediately invited one of my Instagram friends who I have gone out to eat with on several occasions and who also enjoys taking food photos. I told my boyfriend, and he's pissed that I'm not taking him and says I'm doing it out of spite. I really think I'm not. If the restaurant is giving me free food in exchange for a post, I'm gonna put more effort into the post and spend a few extra minutes making sure that I actually get very good shots, and I'd rather do it with someone who isn't going to sigh and roll their eyes through the whole thing. Also, I think it's pretty audacious of him to be actively unsupportive of an activity that hurts no one, but then also expect to benefit when it's actually successful. No, you're not the Well, of course not. He's ridiculous. It's like he's such a duplicitous little monkey. I don't know why I used monkey there, but never mind. Anyway, I just find it hilarious that he will hate on things and then he's offended that he's not benefiting from your work that he actively belittled all this time. That's cute, babe. You did well that you invited your Instagram friend. You should go on these things with people that enjoy it, actually, and not going to spoil your mood with like their sighing, rolling their eyes, and just being unsupportive of you. Would you just stop hating things for like no reason? The next story is actually from Petty Revenge. Dressed overly casual at a designer store so that the rude sales rep wouldn't get commission. I don't typically buy a lot of designer clothing, but when I do go shopping, I dress pretty casually. Last week, I was strolling through the mall and there was designer backpack on display that caught my attention. I went inside the store wearing a hoodie and ripped jeans and went to inquire about the price of the backpack. I waited around for 10 minutes for someone to help me until I decided to go up to one of the sales representatives myself. She told me to wait because she was helping another customer, so I sat down and waited. I saw her in the corner of the store just standing, not doing anything. I decided to wait another 5 minutes for her to come back, but she never did. I walked back up to her and told her I wanted to inquire about the backpack. I asked her if she could bring one from the back room so I could take a closer look at it. She told me she wouldn't be able to do that unless I was planning on purchasing the item. She seemed annoyed with my request. Before I could say anything else, she quickly walked away to help another customer. I'm quite young, 25 female, and I could tell she didn't think I was serious about purchasing it and didn't want to waste her time. I would have actually purchased it then and there if she hadn't been so dismissive. A few days later, I went back into the store. This time, I made sure to dress even more casually than before. I walked in with a pair of sweatpants, running shoes, a tank top, and zip up. The same lady was working that day and turned her back to me as soon as I walked in. I went up to one of the other sales representatives. This guy was younger, smiling, and seemed eager to help. And I told him I wanted to purchase the backpack, and he gladly went inside and got it for me. He even asked if I'd like to take a look at it before buying. I thanked him and he checked me out. The store manager was also by the cashier, and I let him know that I came in last week and that the lady wouldn't let me see the product before purchasing it. He was upset to hear this and told me this wasn't the first time he had received a complaint about her. The item was a few grand and all the commission went towards the junior. He was so kind and grateful. She avoided eye contact with me after she got told off by her manager, and I smiled at her as I walked out of the store. Don't judge a book by its cover. Something like this actually did happen with me multiple times and with me and my dad multiple times. I don't even want to talk about it right now because it's unnecessary. It's like similar stories to these. And I just find the whole culture of brand stores a little bit ridiculous because it's like I feel that most of the experiences that I've encountered from other people are that they were in some way disrespected there, or that people don't even want to enter brand stores because they don't want to be disrespected. Like I, for example, would like to go and take a look in some of the designer stores, but I don't feel comfortable going inside even when I'm dressed nicely because I know people are gonna be bitches there, whether I look good or not. So it's like, why even bother? And it actually ties into a conspiracy theory that I've heard or read somewhere, I don't remember. It's that the sales reps will be purposefully mean to you to piss you off so that you will buy something to prove that you can afford it. Regardless of that, I would really like the whole vibe of the brand stores to change because they are mightily unpleasant, and I did enjoy this girl's revenge against the sales rep. She couldn't show you the backpack because she didn't think you were serious about buying it. It's none of her business. It's her job to do whatever you say, show you the backpack, show whatever you ask to do. Like, what the hell? Anyway, let's move to the next story. I told my friend those fake tits didn't keep your man home now, did they? I have a friend, I'll call her Tiffany. The backstory on this girl is kind of funny because she used to be my middle school slash ninth grade bully, but we ended up close friends. And though we became close, that hasn't stopped her from being snarky over the years. But I overlooked it because I figured that's just her personality. I did up until now because, in my opinion, she crossed the line. Tiffany likes to brag. Her husband and her have been together since high school. She is also a real estate agent working at a high-end realty company. She makes pretty good money. She overall has a nice lifestyle, no hate there. But lately, this girl's been having it out for me. So me and a couple of girlfriends had a get-together at her place, but she wouldn't stop targeting me. It's not verbatim, but this is what she said. So what's the deal with y'all? Why hasn't he married you? It's been years, girl. Oh, I know. He probably won't marry you because you're kind of flat. She said for years, my body is why my boyfriend won't marry me. She's gotten her entire body done, and now that she has a nice body, she's shaming me. She used to be skinny too, ironically enough. So I clapped back and said, those fake tits didn't keep your man home now, did they? Because her husband has a history of cheating. And they all called me a and kicked me out. Her poking at me, I guess, brought back some resentment from the old days of her bullying me, so I think I snapped. It was really hurtful to my self-esteem. Was I wrong? I don't think so. She deserved it. I don't want to even talk about it too long, but she's still a bully. I know you said that she used to be your bully, but she's still your bully now because she's been saying for years that there is something wrong with your body, that your man is not marrying you for your lack of boobs and ass and whatever, which is just straight up bullying, dude. Like, you're not supposed to say things like that to your friends. So yeah, you should not really be friends with this person because she does not sound like she knows what friendship is. Also sounds hella toxic. So you're not wrong, but ditch the friend. The next story is from Petty Revenge. My date got me a gift, so I got him fired from his job. Hi, I'm a 22-year-old female to male who at the time of the story was just out of a relationship. I started dating this guy, 24 male, who we will call Frank for the story. We went to a bar and we clicked very well. He would then hang out at my place almost 3 times a week where things were amazing. About a month into our friendship slash relationship, we were thinking about getting serious. Frank constantly love bombed me, messaged me every day about how much he loved me, etc. He even came over one day with a gift for me that was in a unique designed glittery gift bag that had crystals, a hoodie, little necklace charms, and baked goods from a store in the mall. We officially started dating and it was great for a week. Frank sent me a long message saying, "Oh, I love you so much," and how he would love me forever. Going to bed, I thought nothing of it, just happy someone loved me and expressed it. The next morning, I woke up to another paragraph text, thinking it was another love message. I was wrong. He started off the text with, "I don't love you," and wrote about how he was sleeping with his ex and me at the same time, and that he didn't love her and lies about loving me. I was devastated. Normally, I wouldn't have cared that much, but after being love bombed for a month by Frank, it stung. Immediately after reading this text, I got suspicious. Some backstory: for the duration of talking to him, he talked horrible about his ex, whom Frank still lived with, saying that she was abusive, trashy, etc. So hearing him say he was sleeping with her stung a lot, but also set off some red flags. I go to work that day upset, but I was getting over it quickly, until Frank's ex messaged me on Instagram, who we will call Stacy. Stacy told me how he was love bombing her and begging for her back, and that she wanted to make sure me and him weren't a thing. Out of respect, I told Stacy what he said to me, considering she was brought up in the text anyways, and I sent her screenshots of every single time he trash talked her, and I'm talking at least 50 screenshots of paragraphs of him trash talking her. He was trying to get sympathy from me for him to come over and stay the night. Stacy apologized for his actions and decided not to date him. Eventually, me and her grew to become good friends, and I realized Frank had lied about everything. Stacy was the sweetest, most timid person I've ever met. Now remember the gift he had given me? I ended up rearranging my room and finding the bag with everything Frank gave me. Looking at the items, something seemed off, so I texted Stacy. I asked her if she happened to be missing anything, any crystals or hoodies. She had a hippie aesthetic, so owning crystals was a given. Stacy texted me back that she was in fact missing 3 crystals, and she described the ones that Frank had gifted me exactly. The hoodie, also hers. The charms, hers. The only thing he didn't steal from her to gift me were the baked goods from his job. Stacy and Frank both worked at the mall in our city, and I decided to stop by and return everything he had stolen and given to me. He was off that day, but I was told when he got home and he saw the gaudy bag he put everything in, he knew we met up and knew what he did. He apparently started crying and begging for her to forgive him on his knees, which I found hilarious. Fast forward a week later, Stacy tells me he went back to doing the same things with other girls. Apparently, he had done this 5 other times to different girls, getting into full commitment relationships and cheating. Angry, I remembered something Frank had told me about how he would steal baked goods to bring home and that if his boss found out, he'd be pissed. So I naturally called the store he worked at, told him everything he was doing at work, along with his cheating and two-timing and all other secrets that could get him fired. Since then, I never see him at the bakery, and when I ask about him, they pretend he never existed. Even my new best friend Stacy said he moved out since he couldn't afford rent, so where he is now is a mystery. Good riddance. Nice job. This is so satisfying. That man is next level garbage. I'm real sorry, guys. My microphone died last time I was filming the episode, so I have to finish it on a different day. So, continuing with this story, we have an update. Hi everyone, thanks for the comments. I didn't think this would get people's attention. I wanted to answer some questions as I've realized commenting on every comment isn't super productive or good for my health. Where is he now? Last I heard, he was moving back in with his mom. So anyone concerned with me ruining his life, he's fine. Even if he decided to not move in with his parents, I'm sure he would have used pity points to move into another girl's house. I was more focused on him no longer mooching off Stacy, as he wasn't contributing using her car and especially using said car to drive his multiple dates around to bars. Yikes. Are you and Stacy going to get together? I laughed reading a few of your joke comments about us getting together. Honestly, I don't see it happening. She's sweet and definitely my type, but we don't communicate often anymore. We have been trying to find time to go on hangout dates though. Is this a true story? Yes, 100%. It is written sloppily as I am not that great at laying things down in a good timeline. But I did my best. But essentially, it was me matching with him, hanging out for 2-3 weeks, us dating for a week officially, and then the out of nowhere text. I will say he did text me this message after we slept together for the first time a day previous. So I think he just did all that for someone to sleep with before moving on to the next person. And someone asked if Stacy didn't just see the gifts beforehand and then texted me through his phone. Hard to explain, but she didn't do all that. He had a stealing tendency, and I would honestly rather believe Stacy than Frank any day. Figures. And finally, why was him living with his ex not a red flag? It never came off as a red flag to me because I understand not being able to live on my own due to finances. She now has a new roommate, but he had insisted over and over that he was trying to move out. Most people I know are in a situation where if they broke up with their partners, they wouldn't be able to leave that shared living space easily without months of saving up. I acknowledged his claims to be trying to move, but I never thought he would be sleeping with the person he was accusing of harassing him while we were together. He deserved to be taught a lesson, so I don't even want to add anything else. May you never come across such assholes again. Let's see the next story. I ended a 3-year relationship just because of a petty comment. I started this relationship when we were both college students. Granted, he watched me graduate, get a master's degree, find my first jobs, and this year he watched me open my own small law firm alongside two girls I met in my college classes. But he remained a student. He is 1 year older than me, but he made some bad choices when he was younger, and that's why he is still at the middle of his studies. Still 2 or 3 years to go. It caused a lot of problems for our relationship. I felt superficial for being upset about the situation, how I had to pay for almost anything, how he would never do nice things for me. I figured out I had to be more proactive, help him instead of judging his decisions. I wanted him to either commit to his studies or find a job and save money, but he was more interested in doing business. He would sleep most of the day and play at night. I forced him to set up stands on fairs to sell his plants. He said for a whole year he was going to do it, but he never did. I would pay the enter fee and used my paintings as an excuse to join him and make sure he would actually be there. I didn't earn a cent selling my paintings. I just wanted to keep him company and motivate him. After 8-hour work days, 5 days a week, I had to be there, which I didn't mind. After all, I loved him so much. He was always super late to the fairs and would complain to me for not understanding he was tired. Tired from what, babe? Not doing shit. When I opened my small law firm, I could no longer attend as I had to keep my image as professional as possible, so he never went to a fair again. I broke up with him in June because I was the only one carrying the relationship. I was not only paying for everything, but also planning every activity we did. We got back together because he told me he got a job. No, plot twist, and I hate it. It was one of his business ideas, but at least he was doing something. It failed. Why am I not surprised? He started seeing me less because he was so busy working to earn money for me. He's quite a comedian, I see. But there was never money because he planned poorly and associated with terrible business partners. Finally, I found messages on his phone talking to other girls, flirting with them. That same week, he told me I wasn't even that pretty. He arrived 1 hour and a half late to my birthday dinner and he scolded me in my own house, saying, "Can you please not eat like an animal? Would it kill you to eat properly for once?" This would have me on the verge of murder. I'm sorry. Like, the fucking audacity of this boy. That happened 2 days ago. I broke with him via text message the same night. I feel empty. I feel used. That comment made me realize this excuse of a man will never be aware of the sacrifices I made for him. In fact, he thinks he is the one doing sacrifices just because I forced him to get his life together. I don't know what to do now. I was building a life around the idea of marrying this guy, and now it's all gone. Last night, I dreamt we were wearing matching costumes to a Halloween party. He was holding our baby. I feel like somehow this is all my fault. No, 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 no. Girl, you got to get this straight, okay? Forget this piece of crap. You don't have to build a life around him anymore, and it's a good thing because, like, okay, even if you did and you planned on marrying him and having his babies and whatever, it's better for you now because you have your business, you are going places, you are doing things, and the rest will come along. Like, you don't have to force it. He's not the last man on earth. He is not the last man that will ever like you, okay? There are plenty of other options, and definitely the ones that would be better than this, whatever this is. Best of luck to you, and let's see the last story I have. Am I for telling my roommate it's his fault he doesn't get laid. I, 24 male, have been living with my roommate, Simon, 29 male, for about a year. I'm not in a relationship, but I occasionally bring one night stands into our flat, which Simon explicitly told me he was okay with when we moved in together. That being said, I try not to bother him with excessive noises, and any sexual activity is limited to my bedroom only, but I don't make a secret of having someone over. Example, I offer breakfast the next morning, and sometimes Simon is already awake by the time the person leaves. Just recently, Simon has started to become increasingly hostile towards me whenever I have someone over. He's incredibly rude and condescending to any person I hook up with, and has barged into my room in the morning demanding I help him with something, causing my one night stands to leave in a hurry. When I asked whether something was bothering him, he told me that he was fed up with guys like me stealing girls from guys like him. I asked what he meant by that, and he said that it's always players who get all the girls, and he is left with nothing. Oh, you poor baby, maybe you should try doing something about it and not just whining. He tends to stay home on the weekends, and whenever he meets up with someone, it's usually to play video games with one of his friends. So I think it's fair to say he isn't really trying to meet new people. I offered that he could come with me the next time I go if he wanted to get in contact with someone, but he turned down the idea because nice, shy guys like him don't have a chance with girls anyway. Oh, the nice guys. Babe, if you have to say you are a nice guy, I have some bad news for you. I then asked how exactly he expects to meet someone if he never goes out, he works remotely, never really leaves our flat apart from shopping, and as far as I know, doesn't do online dating. He got defensive and told me that he didn't want one of the I was picking up at the club anyway, and that he wanted a girl who preferred staying at home so he wouldn't find one in a bar either way. Stay lonely then. I told him that he should stop blaming other people for his inability to find a date when he is not giving anyone the opportunity to even meet him, and that he can't expect women to randomly find him and ask him out when there is no way for anyone to know he even exists. He called me because it's easy for me to make assumptions, and that it's always boys who pretend dating is so easy when they're the ones preventing the good guys from having a chance with girls. Oh god, this one got on my nerves unexpectedly. I feel way more worked up over this than I should be. You're not the asshole, not at all. Like, he deserved a little bit of a reality check. Seriously, boys prevent the good guys from getting girls. This is not Hunger Games, honey. Like, you can find girls regardless of whether boys get laid or not. And it's like you're just making up excuses for your excuses. Dress up, go out, and maybe you will find a nice girl. But, well, I feel sorry for the girl who will actually end up with him, but nonetheless, maybe they will be happy. Maybe he will be better around her. I don't know. That man got me so mad. I despise people who will just blame anything and everything for their problems, but then not actually ever do anything themselves. Do you expect a girl, not one of the by the way, also love that, but whatever, to roll into your bedroom one day and just be like, me, my love, I'm here. How do you expect this to go? Thank you so much for watching this bit of a mess. I hope you still enjoyed the collection of stories I had for you, and as usual, I will see you with another video next week. Thank you so much for watching if you're still here, though I doubt it. I'll see you with another video as usual next week. Bye.